of cancer.
She had always been extra cautious about her health. Despite that, sadly, she passed away from breast cancer. She was only 42, far too young to die. It's been almost 10 years since we divorced, but memories of her still linger in my heart. My name is David Johnson. I met Emily, who was to be my wife, through a mutual acquaintance. She was a budding surgeon, and I had just become a physical therapist.
When I was in elementary school, my beloved grandmother passed away from cancer. I cried so hard I hyperventilated. Since then, I vowed to become a doctor so that no one else would have to suffer the loss of a loved one to illness like I did.
Her words carried a strong determination and sense of mission. I fell in love with her for that, her straightforward gaze. Perhaps because we were both in the medical field, we got along well and eventually started dating, leading to marriage a year later. However, our relationship began to slowly drift apart. She started crying alone more frequently. When I noticed and asked what was wrong, she would just laugh it off, saying,
"No worries, I'm totally fine."
She always had a tendency to hide the important things and keep them to herself. Later, through medical connections, I started hearing rumors about Emily. Apparently, she was constantly faced with discriminatory remarks at work, being told things like, "for a woman," or "because you're a woman." That made it difficult for her to gain trust, and she often had opportunities taken away from her, falling behind her male colleagues. I was furious that someone as hardworking as her was discriminated against simply because of her gender. But I also felt a bit upset that she didn't confide in me about those issues. It made me wonder if she didn't see me as someone she could rely on. Then one day, I noticed a sudden change in her demeanor. From then on, she became more dedicated to her studies and training, coming home late. Whenever she had free time, she would be at a nearby cafe, studying with her textbooks until closing time. I thought her stoic attitude was amazing and respected her for it. However, as the time we spent together dwindled, I began to feel lonely. The reason why she studied outside was she couldn't concentrate at home. I understood her reasoning. However, it made me feel a bit like I was being treated as a nuisance, which annoyed me a bit. Gradually, our feelings for each other became misaligned, and eventually, I suggested, "Maybe it's better if we go our separate ways." She solemnly agreed with that. Finally, we divorced. However, over these 10 years, Emily and I weren't completely out of touch. Since our workplaces were close, we occasionally ran into each other in downtown or our neighborhood. "How's work going lately?"
Well, not bad. I've slowly started to perform surgeries myself.
"Wow, that's impressive." Since our divorce was amicable, we would stop and chat whenever we met. Yet, about 3 years after our divorce, I transferred to a different hospital. I made sure to inform her about it over the phone.
Good luck. I'll be doing my best too. Hopefully, we'll both be successful in the future.
"You'll definitely make it. See you." With that, I ended the call. Later, while working at the new hospital, I met a woman named Karen. She was my patient, and we fell in love and eventually got remarried. "This time, I'm determined to make it work," I thought. I started a new chapter in my life. I wondered whether I should tell Emily about that. We were even strangers, so I was under no obligation. But as a casual update, I decided to give her a call.
Hey, it's been a long time. What's up?
Emily sounded genuinely happy to hear from me. We made light conversation. It seemed she had been recognized as a potential ace at the hospital, thanks to all her hard work, despite being a woman. "I've seen how hard you've worked, Emily. I always believed you could do it."
Really? Hearing you say that means a lot to me. Thanks, David.
Hearing my name after so long brought back memories. But I'd started down a different path. Actually, I'm getting married. For a moment, it felt like time stood still for her. However, she quickly responded with,
"Oh, really? Wow. Congratulations."
making me think maybe I was just imagining things.
Wait, is that what you called to tell me? You don't have to worry about me. You're not planning on inviting me to the wedding, are you?
No, that would be too much.
Just kidding, okay?
Having said what I needed to, I added, well, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. David, I hope you're happy.
With that, she hung up. It's been over 5 years since I've had any contact with her. That call was our last conversation. When I arrived at Emily's viewing, I was surprised by the sheer number of people coming and going. I saw Emily's cousin and greeted him.
Hi David. Long time no see. You look well.
His name is Alex. He was the one who informed me of Emily's passing. You seem well too. But this is quite a crowd.
Most of them are from the hospital where Emily worked. Many patients came as well.
Patients too.
Yes. So many people were saved by her surgeries. I can't believe someone so amazing was part of our family. I'm really proud.
Alex's tears made me feel a lump in my throat. Emily had lived up to her word, wanting to save many people. It's clear she was respected and acknowledged for her efforts as a surgeon by so many.
But I wish Emily had taken better care of herself too. It must have been tough, fighting the disease for over 6 years.
I turned to Alex in surprise. 6 years. The last time I spoke to Emily was 5 years ago. That means she was already battling breast cancer then. Why didn't she tell me? I felt a rush of anger towards her but caught myself quickly. At that time, I called to tell her about my upcoming marriage. Perhaps she thought that telling her ex-husband about her cancer would only burden me as I was starting a new chapter. In a way, by announcing my marriage, I distanced myself from her, while she faced her fears alone. What a cruel thing I have done. As I offered flower at her altar, I apologized, regretting my actions that day. I'm sorry, Emily, for not realizing sooner. I gave a slight nod to her parents, who were still in tears. They were probably struggling to come to terms with their loss. Emily was a great person who saved many lives, but to them, she was their irreplaceable daughter. They must have never wanted to witness her pass away. The thought made my heart ache. That's when it happened.
David, do you have a moment right now?
Alex tapped me on the shoulder. Yes. Sure, what's up?
Actually, there's someone who wants to meet you. Could you come with me?
Someone wants to meet me. Who is it? He gestured with his palm up towards a man.
The gentleman right there. He's Emily's current husband.
Hearing that, I was taken aback. Her husband faced me and greeted politely, saying,
Pleased to meet you, I'm Raymond.
He seemed older, significantly so. From our conversation, I learned he was the deputy director at the hospital where Emily worked. So, she had remarried a highly experienced doctor. However, as her ex-husband, meeting Raymond in that context felt oddly uncomfortable.
I'm sorry to take your time. Actually, I have something important I'd like to discuss with you.
Raymond and Emily had been planning to open their own hospital. I remember her once saying,
I'd love to build a hospital someday. Though, I know it's a long shot.
I never imagined they were close to making that dream a reality. Her determination never ceased to amaze me.
We married 2 years ago. Despite her battle with cancer, she continued to perform surgeries, facing each patient with dedication. I was drawn to her relentless spirit. I knew her prognosis wasn't good, but I wanted to marry her. Hoping for the best, even as a doctor, we wanted to open our hospital together.
Raymond wiped away his tears with a handkerchief. He expressed regret that they were so close to realizing their long-held dream, yet it remained unfulfilled.
Though Emily has passed, I want to carry on her will, open the hospital, and continue helping many patients, just as she did.
His gaze was as steadfast as Emily's had been.
Now, to the matter at hand. We had planned to include a facility to support disabled individuals within the hospital.
Oh, support for the disabled too. So, you'll eventually need physical therapists.
Exactly. And about the physical therapist position, I was hoping you would consider joining us.
Me? I was utterly surprised by the unexpected offer, but he mentioned that Emily had recommended me for the role when they first discussed opening the hospital. Why would Emily recommend me? He smiled.
She always spoke highly of you, praising your ability to empathize with patients and motivate them with your words. She even said that one of the reasons she persevered as a surgeon was due to your encouragement. I must admit, her smile when she spoke of you even made me a bit jealous.
She said that about me. Then, something even more surprising came up.
It's possible that she still had feelings for you.
What?
She never mentioned anything like that in front of me, but there were moments when she seemed to be lost in thought, as if she was conversing with memories deep within her. I believe those were moments with you.
Raymond's words made me recall my last conversation with her. Indeed, there was an awkward pause when I informed her of my marriage. To think she still had feelings for me was a shock. I never stopped caring about Emily, either. Even when I proposed we divorce, I still loved her. But that love was precisely why we had to part ways. She had a profound conviction. The conviction to save lives as a doctor. I didn't want to stand in the way of that. As a fledgling physical therapist, I had my convictions too. I thought I had no regrets about our decision, yet tears now freely flowed down my cheeks. Raymond gently placed his hand on my shoulder.
Emily might have been saddened by your separation, but she never regretted her path as a doctor. Instead, she was grateful for your support, which enabled her to strive forward. I loved her, including the moments she shared with you. I'm sorry, I'm speculating. She always had the most important things, after all.
I responded with a laugh. Really? He assured me there was still time to think it over before parting ways. When I discussed that with my current wife Karen, she seemed to see right through me.
You want to work there, don't you? You've talked about Emily so often.
Have I? Feeling guilty for my insensitivity, I started to apologize, but she smiled.
It's okay. It's not about holding on to the past. You always spoke of Emily with such respect. I understand Raymond's feelings. Normally, one might be hesitant to work with their spouse's ex, but Raymond accepted her suggestion willingly. She must have respected you deeply, believing you were the right person for this. Your relationship with Emily goes beyond just being ex-spouses, and both Raymond and I believe that. So, follow your heart.
Closing my eyes, I reflected on Karen's words. Emily was indeed someone very special to me. It's true. I'm grateful to both Raymond and Karen for understanding that. Years later, I find myself working as a physical therapist at the facility Raymond built in Emily's memory. The hospital is equipped with the latest technology to ensure comprehensive care for cancer patients. It can be called a testament to Emily's legacy. I'm committed to carrying on her will, aspiring to help as many people as she had hoped to.